guys, my name is Imogen and welcome to my YouTube channel. It has been a while since I last posted my first and only YouTube video on YouTube. I think it was about this time last year, nearly a year ago. I felt that a get ready with me video would be a nice way to come back into YouTube, sort of like a sit down catch up as to where I've been, what's been going on, why I haven't posted and other things, especially because also someone requested a makeup tutorial last year on that video and I am so sorry it's taken a year to do, but I'm here now, it's fine. She's here to stay. If you want to see how I achieved this look using mainly vegan and cruelty-free products, then please keep on watching. So I've got my mug of tea at the ready. I've already moisturised my face with Magic Organic Apothecaries Aphrodite facial oil, which I absolutely love. This is my second bottle and it's lasted me for so long. So I've moisturised with that. It's not greasy or oily at all. What I am going to do now is just pop on my Urban Decay primer. This is the Urban Defense Complex Primer. I think it's got some environmental protection and SPF 30 in it. So where have I been? So I posted my first YouTube video last summer and then I went abroad. So, I'm popping on my foundation by the way, which is the Ordinary's Coverage Foundation. It's high coverage. It's in the colour 3.0Y for medium dark with yellow undertones. Honestly, the best foundation I've used so far and it's so inexpensive. But anyway, so I went to India, Dubai and the Maldives. That trip lasted around a month. I was planning to vlog it, but I'm not gonna lie, it was meant to be a really good holiday for me, really relaxing after some hard work, but it kind of just took a U-turn and ended up being one of the most painful holidays I've actually experienced. And it's because, if you guys know tarot, the best way to describe it is a tower moment. Basically a massive life change happened, which was annoying because I wasn't in the country, I was away and everything just came crashing down and I didn't really deal with it well. It was a really sad time for me. I remember being in India and in the car and I just burst into tears, it was horrible. But even though everything was happening at the time, which I'm not going to divulge in too much, but even though there was so much pain, I kind of knew, okay, something bigger is happening. I really felt like my spiritual development was happening now. I just knew this was the start of me becoming a better person and everything really does happen for a reason. And I knew that this was happening for a reason and I knew I would come out strong with the other side. It's just obviously at the time when you're going through a rough patch, you know it but you don't see it, and because you don't see it and I'm impatient as it is, I just oh my god, no. So this was around July last year. I came back, was not feeling life at that time. Sorry, I'm just gonna have to interrupt. I am now using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Shadow Potion Primer. Been using this for years. When I first got it as a teen, I was using it completely wrong, but it's okay. We learn, we grow. This stuff is amazing, the hold and the stain power. Anyway, so I came back, I moved from London to Plymouth again and settled in my own flat for the first time, which was so difficult because I was still healing from this trauma that I experienced and all this pain, and I didn't cope with it well, I'll be honest. Mentally, I was not great. It was just a struggle. I think if I didn't have that period, it wouldn't have made me into the woman I am today, as cliche as that sounds. And now looking back at it, I felt like this was so needed because I wouldn't have learnt from the mistakes I made, because let's be honest, no one's perfect. Okay, so I'm now going to use the Revolution palette. I've kind of forgotten which one this is because I've got quite a few, so I'll link it down below. But I'm just going in with the flesh tone colour just to use as a base. After I released that first video, I was planning to do this whole blogging YouTube thing for a longer amount of time. Of course, I wanted to really start it, but I knew I wasn't in the right headspace or mental frame of mind to do that. I knew that it would be a struggle and I wouldn't really produce my best work, and not gonna lie, I was tending to adulting responsibilities more. I did still go to the gym. I was really just using this time to work on myself. Just gonna interrupt again, but I want to use two. I'm gonna use this one and then that one there. I think. Just mix it up, spice up your life. So I was still going to the gym, still minding my own sweet business, trying to socialise a little bit more. But it was painful at first, it really was painful. As someone who also suffers from mental health issues, since I was pretty much 13, I was seeing a therapist the whole time, even up until now, to really just help myself, work on myself, if that makes sense. Like, just to aid the process of me working on myself, because I knew I needed help at the time. For those of you that don't know, I struggle with anxiety, depression, and I'm not gonna lie, since lockdown, I've kind of self-diagnosed myself with OCD, but I'm not 100% sure. But at the same time, I deep down am sure. I'm not talking about like the whole hygiene side of OCD. There's different types of OCD, and they say it's hereditary. And when I found out it was hereditary, I was like, okay, because there's another family member who I think got OCD as well, and I'm very much similar to that family member. I'm a lot better than I was in September onwards, but obviously it's so normal to have your down days, like we're only human, and I've just been finding I've been having a lot of less down days. I'm still working on little bits of my mental health. So with me personally, one trait of my mental health that I really, really hate and dislike is the fact that I can get irritable, and a lot of people don't realise that irritability is a sign of mental health issues. And it's annoying because deep down I know I'm a kind-hearted soul, I know who I am, but then in that moment I just literally turn into this other person, which sucks. But I've been working on it, I've been really trying hard to work on it, and I am still in that process of doing that. I'm just going back in with a flesh colour to just blend it out a little bit more. During Christmas time I came back to London to look after my siblings because my parents went away. During that time I knew I couldn't bring my rats down with me this time because I had pet rats. That's another thing. Because they were getting old, I knew that journey was a bit tedious and just a bit hard on them. I left them with a friend, and then I got a phone call saying that one of them had passed away, and it was the first time I had experienced the loss of a pet. I have a Rottweiler back at home. He's turning 7 this year. I found out his lifespan's around 8 to 10 years, so I'm dreading the day, honestly. But I just basically was absolutely, utterly heartbroken. I knew my girls had tumours at the time, but I was too anxious to take them to the vets because my friends who have rats, they took their pets to the vets and their rats never made the operation, and so that kind of instilled within me, and I was just like, oh my god, I don't want to take them. Yeah, Simone passed away at a good freaking age though, like they were at the end of their lifespan, to be fair. But Luna was such a trooper. She stayed with me. I came back, had a bit of time with her, but her tumour was so big that she found it very hard to move. She fell over quite a lot because of this tumour, and I remember that my friend told me once I'd come back saying, by the way, I thought I wouldn't worry you, but I'm telling you now, that tumour's infected. I think it took me a while to process the fact that, Imogen, you need to take her to the vets now and face reality, because I took her to the vets after my birthday, not too long after I got back from London, and I was just literally walking to the vets in a good mood. I was like, you know what, she's gonna get some antibiotics, she's gonna be fine, you know, maybe we can even remove this thing, I don't know, like, you know, it'll be fine. Little did I know that the vet was like, you can't operate on this tumour, it's not a case of antibiotics, it's a case of euthanasia. And I was just utterly heartbroken because I hadn't been there during the time that Simone passed away. The vet asked me if I wanted to stay with Luna to watch the euthanasia process, and I was like, I don't care, I'm not leaving her side. So I stood there and watched it all, and it was heartbreaking, and with the help of some amazing people, buried her next to her sister in the park, and it was horrible. Like, I still have my days where I really miss them. I think pets are an amazing form of pet therapy, and it really is true. Since not having them, I felt a little bit like a little piece of me is missing. It was just a really sad thing to deal with, losing your first pet, and I'm such an animal lover, so to me it was like family. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to take is my Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Conceal and Contour in the shades C14. Honestly, Makeup Revolution is so cheap. Wow. I just did an order actually because I wanted to try their eye cream because I don't want to spend too much money on it, I'll be honest. I'm in the process of like revamping my skincare because I'm like, Imogen, you're 23. You need to start upping your life. You're finally at this place of weight loss and looking after your body, and you're looking after your mind as well. Being really like productive with looking after my mind. I do yoga and meditation now. A friend actually inspired me to get into yoga. One of my best friends is into yoga as well. I'm absolutely obsessed. Like, my earliest memories of yoga was when we came back from India. My dad gave me a yoga CD, but I was too young to understand what this funny breathing was all about. Like, I was like, well, what is this? But now I totally appreciate it. I digress. So what did I do after the girls was I literally was working on a long-term lifetime goal to do with my career. I finally have achieved that. I think this is part of the reason why I wasn't blogging and YouTubing and doing all the things I really should have done actually, because I now realise that yeah, it's all well and good focusing on your career, but then goal-driven and ambitious, I need to still do the things I love, because I think that's also going to help me mentally as well. And part of that is just being creative and writing poetry or photographing people and creating content and things. I don't know if you guys know, but I have been blogging since I was in my teens. There was different blogs that I kept doing, different YouTubes, I kept changing my name and all sorts, but the current blog that I'm with now, I started it in 2015 and I still haven't reached that place of where I wanted it to go, being consistent. I think that's the main thing for me, being consistent. So I'm really going to try now, because I realise, like, Imogen, you've been saying you wanted to do this since 13, you're now 23, how long are you going to keep saying that to yourself? So I'm just not going to do that. I've turned a new leaf. So what have I been doing now? Now I've got some free time. Obviously everything's still in lockdown at the moment. I have really been reflecting on the past few years, the good, the bad, and I think it is really important for reflection, because how else are you going to grow as a person if you don't own up to your mistakes and if you don't learn from it and stuff? I have really tried to diverge in my journey, and it's so nice because some of you on Instagram have literally been messaging me like, it's really nice to see your posts and how much you've grown and stuff, and I really appreciate that, because I really have not only grown but really tried to grow as a person. Spiritual and personal growth is quite important to me. I'm quite a spiritual person. I've had spiritual experiences, so I do sort of like utilise a little bit of that into my daily life as well. There's a lot of little mini goals that I've set for myself now, like being more creative, because I am such a creative person at heart, and I think a lot of people know this. So I'm next going to take the same Makeup Revolution Conceal Define Concealer in C12 this time to conceal, but this is on its last leg. So I've got the Makeup Academy Pro Base Full Coverage Concealer in number 170. I'll be honest, it's not full coverage. I don't actually really dig this concealer, but I'm just rolling with it because I don't want to waste it. Yes, I'm just going to use that. If that doesn't work and I'm still not getting the coverage I need, I am going to use this foundation sample I got from Urban Decay. I think it's in 50WY. Well, that's what it says on the package, so might as well use it up. Yeah, so I absolutely love Instagram. I've always been sort of like a visual person. I love photography. My dad was a photographer as well, so I was quite exposed to that side of things from a young age and really took an interest, and he's taught me a few things as well. So I really love Instagram as a platform. The thing that I hate about it though is that it can be so toxic, especially to young women and men alike who are anxious about their appearance or seeing other things as well. I think what I try to do in my profile is bring as much positivity to the table as possible, because I think with someone who has a history of mental health, and I'm understanding that mental health is still a stigma, it's still a taboo, and you never really know who is suffering behind closed doors, and it is quite common as well. It's getting quite common, and I'm not surprised. It's because you're sort of a slave to society. First of all, you're working 9 to 5, and then you go on social media and there's a lot of one-sided lives on there, and I'll be honest, I don't show my worst parts on Instagram because it's just not really the done thing, is that? I respect people who do show every side to their life, but I think the aim of my profile is to bring positivity. So I don't really want to show the bad sides as such. I would make people aware I do have my bad days, but I don't want to post that because, again, I just want to be a bit more positive for other people and myself really, and I think it's really helping me with my mental health when I do that. I always use my fingers for like the concealer part, because you can see I've got these little creases under my eyes. I could use a brush, but I'm not using brushes. It's so much easier to just do it with your fingers. Another sip of tea. I didn't think that sipped through. Okay, so I'm going to use that little foundation sample, hoping it will give me a little bit more coverage because my concealers have essentially run out and I'm waiting on my order to come through. I've got to chill on this because I'm going to give myself ghost halos under my eyes. Amazing foundation, by the way, but oh my god, this is terrifying. Oh, gonna have to blend this, baby. I always get so nervous about concealer shades because if they're too light, it's not a good look. So I ordered some new stuff from Makeup Revolution and I'm like, oh my god, which shade am I in? I don't know if it's just me, but like being a woman of colour, using the shade matcher, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it because I'm really particular about my colours. But anyway, yeah, that's essentially what's happening with me at the moment. Mentally, I'm doing great. Like, you know, I'm really honing into my creative side, reading a lot more, cooking a lot more. Oh my goodness. the cooking. I must say, being vegan for a few years now, I've actually developed my cooking skills so much, because prior to that, I didn't mention I have a binge eating disorder as well. Well, to top it off with a creme de la creme, right? So what happened in terms of that, I think I should do a different video on this, and I will. But to put it in a nutshell, I was at my heaviest a few years ago. I was binge eating to the max, which goes hand in hand with my depression. Before I go into that, actually, I'm taking my Glossier Cloud Paint in Storm. This stuff is amazing. Like, a little goes a long way, and it's a massive tube. It's going to last you ages, and it gives a really natural glow to your skin. Honestly, I love it so much. Yes, I was at the heaviest I ever was, and I always wanted to go to the gym, but I never really had the courage to do so. And then it just so happened that I ended up going, and yeah, I turned vegan at this point as well instead of being vegetarian, which immediately helped with my binge eating disorder, because I couldn't knock myself out with fast food with cheese all over it. And I think since turning vegan, it kind of encouraged me to cook a lot more. And then I really delved into eating cleaner and working out more, getting stronger. And I went from being overweight, essentially, to the size that I'd always dreamed of being, and being at a healthy weight. Because I knew, in terms of my size, what I mean by that is I'm 5'1.5". So I know I have like a petite frame underneath it all, but with my weight, I didn't feel like I was that petite girl. But now I feel so much comfier. Like, don't get me wrong, I have lumps and bumps. That is normal, and I am okay. And I really realised once I lost weight that I did not love myself at all until this point. And I think that's when my self-love journey began. It was when I lost weight that I realised, oh my goodness, I have been damaging myself for years unnecessarily. Next up, we're going to use this well-loved bad boy. This is the Topshop Crescent Moon Highlighter. I know it's currently on sale at Very for like £4.50. It's normally £15. Honestly, get it. I believe that Topshop makeup is cruelty-free and vegan. Oh, that's another thing. I'm trying to move towards cruelty-free vegan makeup at the moment, because as a vegan, I don't personally choose just dietary choices. I'm trying to choose it in fashion. I'm trying to choose more ethical ways of living as well, which is still a work in progress, but I've come a long way, to be honest. I love this. It automatically gives my skin a glow. I think my plans for this channel, I had to really think hard, because there's amazing bloggers out there who just focus on one thing, and I think that's so cool, because you know what you're going there for. If I want to look for vegan food, vegan food. If I want to look for vegan food blogger, amazing. But the thing is with me is I've got so many interests and creative hobbies. There's so much I want to do. What my plans are for this channel, my blogging, my Instagram, my YouTube, my everything, is obviously I want to talk a little bit more about my weight loss journey, because I think it might help some girls as well. I've had some girls tell me, how do I get rid of the bottom pouch of my stomach? And I've got so much to say about that, so I'm going to save it for another video. Just as a little disclaimer, my bottom pouch, my little kangaroo pouch, is still there. I've learned to love it, but I'm also going to be real with you, I am still trying to work on it and improve my fitness and get more toned. And you know, one day it might go, one day it might not. It might be excess skin from more weight loss, but hey ho, like, it's cool. I feel so much more confident in my own skin now that I can just chill. I don't need to overthink things. I, like every girl, have my down days. There'll be days where I'll be like, oh, I just wish this went, blah, blah, blah. But it's cool. For the most part, I'm there with the self-love. So I just want to be able to help other girls and even guys to just get on that journey, because it wasn't until I loved myself that I realised, oh my God, we've been wasting so many years of our life just literally hating ourselves for no freaking reason. Like, we're all here on planet Earth living our own experience, and how sad is that you've lived your teens growing up and even into adulthood with this baggage, this emotional baggage from how you look, when actually you're amazing. It doesn't matter what size you are, it doesn't matter what colour you are or what gender you are, what you identify yourself as. It does not matter. None of it matters. Everyone's beautiful inside and out. That's just how I feel about that. Sorry if you keep seeing me pull this dress up. It's a bit big. I lost weight and I just couldn't part ways with it. It's such a nice dress. Let's do some brows. This is the Eyelure pencil in dark brown. I recently discovered the magic of soap brows by Sophie Floyd, the makeup artist, Instagrammer, YouTuber, tattoo artist. She's amazing, and honestly I really love the fluffy look it gives. So my plans is to basically have a little safe haven and post about vegan cooking, recipes and things. Very serious concentration when you're doing brows. Okay, we're good to roll. I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna have to do my brows off camera because I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, she bet. I do love a thick brow, I do. I remember when I went to the eyebrow lady, she stripped like half my eyebrows off. I was like, oh my God, please don't throw it back to 2002, darling. That honestly gave me a heart attack. I think I'm gonna go back with the Makeup Revolution palette actually. Just gonna mix the brown and pink that I showed you guys before. I do have a under the eye shadow kind of brush, but for convenience purposes, we'll stick to the Spectrum shadow brush. Next, for some inner corner highlight, I'm taking the LOC One and Done shadow stick in Perfect Sense, which I think I got in a box of some sort. Not really sure, can't really remember. And then I'm going to take my Topshop liner in Black Cab. I'm going to do it off camera again because I can't see myself. Also using up a sample of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara that I received. It's amazing. My plans for the future, I'm going to be posting about my weight loss journey, my love of vegan cooking, and sharing some recipes. I also want to dabble a bit more with makeup, but show you guys that it can be done using cruelty-free products, vegan makeup as well, so that no animals need to be harmed, to look fly as hell, just saying. And I also want to experiment a bit more with sustainable fashion, because I believe that buying secondhand and supporting independent brands and trying to be as ethically conscious as you can pay off in the long run. It can help workers with their wages by not supporting brands that aren't ethical in the slightest, because I really do think that makeup and fashion is a form of self-expression and creativity in itself, and I've always been drawn to it. I think growing up in London as well, going to the fashion exhibitions and art galleries, I've always had a love for that. And when my dad had his film photography career, he was shooting models. When I go back home, I do flip through because you get to see 80s and 90s fashion in there, and it's like lookbooks. It's incredible. Next, I'm taking the NYX Cola pencil. This is a lip liner, so I'm just going to line my lips with that. Then I'm taking the NYX Lingerie lipstick in French Maid. I just want to be able to also share my love of poetry and photography as well. I've got a second account where I post my poetry, my photography, which I'll link down below. I want to do more of that as well, and I want to share like books I'm reading and yeah, just whatever I fancy really. On the creative end of the spectrum, and intellectual and philosophical matters that I'm passionate about, and hopefully through that I can share some positivity and inspiration for other people. I'm just finishing all of that with the Urban Decay All-Nighter Pollution Protection Environmental Defense Makeup Setting Spray. It's on its last legs. So here's my finished look. So if you've reached the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I know it's a little bit of a strange, abrupt video to suddenly pop on my channel, but I thought a Get Ready With Me would be a good way to update you guys on where I've been and sort of kickstart my creative outlet where I'll be posting so much more. So if you've liked the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. You can message me on Instagram or leave a comment down below if you have any video requests or you want me to talk about something, especially if you spotted it on my Instagram. I'll leave all my links down below. I think it will take me a video or two just to get back into the swing of things, starting filming. It's been a year, so please bear with me. But yeah, have a great day and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.